Oh, what a place to start. The Iowa State Cyclones have not lost a game at home this season. Will Kansas State break the spell of Hilton magic? It's Kansas State and Iowa State, and it's coming up next. Big 8 Conference basketball.
Welcome to Ames, Iowa. About 3 inches of snow greeted us last night, but it's sunny and warm inside Hilton Coliseum, and Hilton Magic has certainly made its presence felt this year for Iowa State. The Cyclones have been 9 of their opponents disappear, and today Iowa State takes on Kansas State. Hello again, everybody. I'm Dave Armstrong with Dave Logan. And Dave, certainly Iowa State has been a team on ease for Iowa State.
Iowa State's off to a great start, 14-3, and Johnny Orr, I think, maybe the most surprised. It's a team that runs the court well, they shoot the ball well, and Julius Mikulik is a big guy, 6'11", that not only can shoot the ball well, he's an excellent passer from the perimeter. The Cyclones, a very good basketball team.
One thing to remember about Kansas State, they love coming here to Hilton. They have a very good record in Ames. We'll come back. It's Iowa State and Kansas State. The starting lineups are next.
Well, you try to get as many easy baskets as you can.
All-time winningest coach in Iowa State history, and the all-time winningest coach at the University of Michigan as well. Johnny Orr now in his 12th year here with Iowa State. Man, it seems like just yesterday stepped on the campus of Iowa State, and he, along with Billy Tubbs, came into the Big 8 at the same time and really changed the complexion of this conference. You see the series record between these two teams, and Kansas State has really done very well here at Hilton Coliseum. Now the shot clock right now on the one end of the arena has either been unplugged or turned off, and they've plugged it back in and we're set to go. For Iowa State, a team that has really meshed well for Johnny Orr. The shot clock is working now. But for Kansas State, Dave, a team that right now is searching, and the schedule makers have not been kind to the Wildcats, starting at Oklahoma State and then versus Oklahoma, now coming here.
It's been a tough start for them, no question about that.
Eaton will jump center with Wiley Howard. It goes out of bounds, and it will go to Iowa State to start things off. The Cyclones this year have enjoyed not only a 14-3 record, which is their second best start in the school's history, they've also enjoyed a 1-1 start in the Big 8 Conference, including a win over OU. That's Mikulik now to Eaton. Big Pen, he's being guarded by Nickerson. That'll be a great matchup today.
And although Kansas State has struggled offensively, they have not been that bad defensively.
Justice Thigpen starts things off for Iowa State.
And that's a play they ran a lot yesterday in practice. The scissor play, Thigpen coming from the high post, breaking past the pick of Mikulik, and he can...
The State's team shooting over 50%.
And Kansas State today has got to get some scoring from their inside people. Wiley Howard needs a big game.
Punched away by Collier, but Eaton picks it up in the backcourt.
And again, Mikulik at the high post will set picks.
Hoiberg now to Eaton. Howard Eaton. Mikulik tips it to himself. Now here comes Thigpen. Thigpen with 4.
Most right-handed shooters are at their best when they dribble with their left hand before they take it up. For a right-handed shooter to be dribbling left-handed and bring that ball up, you stay in rhythm.
Stolen away almost. But getting it back is Jones. Nice pass to Howard. He misses a chip shot. Boy, you talk about bad shooting for Kansas State. Thigpen now is a half dozen.
Well, I tell you, that one series more or less mirrors the frustrations of Kansas State this year. Unable to get a chip shot. Wiley Howard, with nothing in front of him, leaves it short.
4 straight, and the crowd's in it for Kansas State. He's got a half dozen.
That time a nice move. He shows Howard Eaton the basketball, then the head and shoulders fake, gets him in the air and knocks home the 8-footer. Wildcats now back in their zone. It's a 2-3 zone, actually a 2-1-2 zone. The shots will come from not the baseline, but the corners.
That shot from Eaton is good. Howard Eaton with 6. Eaton was a little bit short, though, and Hoiberg has the rebound.
That's just not a good shot. Thrown Previous time down, a three-point play. That time an off-balance, ill-advised shot.
Bayless might have gotten away with a walk.
Skip pass.
Hoiberg for three. And there's another rebound and put back by Eaton. Boy, he's having a big game. Eaton with 8.
And again, tough to block off, and the 2 threes run to the other end.
And a 9-point lead for the Wildcats. This zone has caused Iowa State fits. Skip McCoy might be a zone breaker with a 3.
Nice job of rotating the basketball that time, even without penetration.
Brian really looks and plays a lot like his brother, doesn't he?
He really does.
This is our first look at the freshman this year. Ski Jones, another 3. No. Mikulak doing a good job on the boards and now leading the break. The pass to Hoiberg.
Oh, a nice, strong move by the freshman. Hoiberg takes it in with the one hand. Power move.
4 straight for the Cyclones. And a steal by Eaton. Thigpen to Eaton. And a foul down low as McCoy was trying to get in. And we've got a foul. I think it's going on Cunningham.
Well, they're 68-7, the Big 8 Conference. Home records this year. So not many teams come into this conference and win on the road.
McCoy with a pair of trays. And after Kansas State led by 9, Iowa State has pulled to within 1. Hoiberg with a steal. Mikulak. McCoy. And now they'll reset the offense.
Smart move by McCoy. He could have taken that three-pointer, but it would have been hurried. Instead, he brings it back out, and they'll set.
McCoy faked the 3. Good defense that time by Jones. Now McCoy is open for 3. Wow!
And all 3 threes, McCoy has been wide open because of the rotation of the...
Thigpen working off the pick. Thigpen's now got 8.
And that was with the right hand off the dribble. In practice, tell them, hey, we've got to get good looks at the basket. You can't just be casting up from anywhere.
Altman saying to himself, man, I got this team in a 2-year shooting slump. Last year, that was the Wildcats' problem. Lauren Meyer. Boy, what a nice touch for the big man. He's a 6'11 player out of Ruthven, Iowa.
And he's going to be an all Big 8 center.
23-12 or 23-14. Now it's been Iowa State who has done the job. And a foul down low away from the action.
I think it's Meyer.
Yeah, Lauren Meyer picks up his first. And that's the 7th team foul now on Iowa State.
We watched him yesterday in practice. He was doing some jams that would make NBA players proud. Some wheelie birds and over his head. And for a guy that big to get up that high, I tell you, it's unusual.
Oh. Missed free throw, the front end of the 1-and-1. That's almost like a turnover for Kansas State. Mikulak with a blaze of speed. It's blocked, but a foul on Howard. He picks up his first, and Mikulak will go to the line.
I tell you, Mikulak reminds me so much of a player back in the early 70s from BYU, Krasmir Chosic, who at 6'11 had many of the skills that Julius Mikulak has. You see, putting the basketball on the floor and taking it strong to the basket, and yet he has the quickness that men of his size just simply don't possess.
Iowa State found out about Mikulak from an assistant coach at Morningside. Rick Wesley, who has grandparents who live in Czechoslovakia, decided to check up on it. He said if we'd have found out that he was from somewhere like Bulgaria or something, we probably would have forgotten all about it. But since I have relatives in Czechoslovakia, Wesley said, let's check up on this guy.
And that nasty thing you see over his left eye, courtesy of Byron Houston, Oklahoma State, was stitched up last week in Stillwater after he took an elbow.
And a double miss by Mikulak at the line, an 80% free throw shooter. Kansas State trailing by 4 with the basketball. Stolen away by Bayless.
Give it up. No, nice.
To Pippett. He's fouled, and Pippett will have to earn it at the line.
Well, what a great look by Bayless. Anticipates the pass, gets into the lane. Instead of taking it to the basket, realizes that Pippett is running down the middle of the court. Watch this bounce pass. Bayless can take it home. Great pass. There's the foul on Nickerson. Bayless, the bounce pass. If that's not bounce passed, it doesn't get through, and Pippett hanging in the air almost gets the basket.
This place can get quiet, can it? All around and in for Pippett. Loud and quiet. Listen to the silence.
Listen to the silence.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure that one out. Well, I did. You got me.
That's right. It's like ignoring the noise, right?
Good entry.
And a good play. Wiley Howard, he's exploding for Kansas State. A guy averaging around 11. He's already got 10 in this game.
Cyclones trying to pound it inside.
Meyer's shot is short. 4 purple shirts all around it. That's the frustration of a team that has an 0-2 record in the Big 8 Conference. But Altman, ever the cheerleader, trying to keep his Wildcats in it. And they are very much in this game, trailing by just 4. Welcome back to Ames, Iowa. Right now, Iowa State, after trailing by 9, leads Kansas State by 4. With Dave Logan, I'm Dave Armstrong. And maybe one of the reasons, Dave, they're doing it is you talked about how Iowa State had to control the glass. So far, they have been.
So far, so good. Iowa State leading 16-12 in rebounds. And again, Kansas State, an excellent rebounding team, even though they don't possess a great deal of size. Very athletic inside. They go to the glass, and the Cyclones have done a nice job there. And Kansas State back to the zone again. Think if I were Johnny Orr, I'd get Skip McCoy up off the bench.
Yeah, he's got those three-pointers. Shot clock is at 25, still plenty of time there. Pippett will try a 3. It's no good, and the rebound to Wiley Howard, who quickly got it to Roan. Now Ziegler will set the offense for K-State. Roan checks up inside three-point range, in and out, no good. Bayless lost the handle on it, but it was tipped out by Collier, and it'll go to Iowa State.
And I think you can count the shots that Kansas State has hit from outside the key on one hand this afternoon. Until they hit that consistently, the Iowa State defense is going to slough off and play those inside shots. Kick it back out, you get a shot.
Good movement by Iowa State, and Thigpen converts. That's a 2-pointer for Justice Thigpen.
Nice look by Howard Eaton. Right back out to Bayless, who finds Thigpen all by himself. Good ball movement.
Roan with a quick jump step into the lane. Trissell Roan. That was like a kangaroo hop.
A long way, too. Not only up, but he took about 5 yards on that hop.
Over the top goes Howard. Good hustle by the senior to knock it out of bounds, but it'll stay with Iowa State. And Mikalik will check back in along with Hoiberg. And coming back for Kansas State, Ski Jones. Ski only has 3 points in this contest. Pippett will go out along with Lauren Meyer for the last 2:15. Right now, Iowa State's kind of rolling the dice a little bit with Mikalik and Eaton with 2 fouls each. And they're both in there. Hoiberg. Tipped up and in by Mikalik. His first 2 of the game.
Good control in the air, Mikalik with the left hand.
Jones trying to get loose on Hoiberg. Now Nickerson, outstanding player from Wichita State. For a 3 for Askia Jones. He's now got 6 in the game.
Nice pass from Nickerson. Askia Jones, when he sets up, he sets the feet and catches the basketball. He is ready to shoot it.
Mikalik is ready to shoot as well and hit it. From the corner, Mikalik showing his range.
You know, if you didn't know Iowa State and you said they've got a 6'11 guy that shoots three-pointers rather well, you'd say, sure they do.
Yeah, right.
But Mikalik is an excellent shooter.
That shot well short. Here comes Mikalik. It was partially tipped. Now to Bayless. Inside to Mikalik, and he's fouled by Rediger. The call is before the shot, so Mikalik, that's the 6th team foul on Kansas State, won't go to the line.
And again, look who dishes the basketball. Bayless, strong to the hole, now gives it up as Mikalik down the middle. We're going to say Rediger got him before the shot.
I think it's right here. Watch where he gets him.
Bayless off the bounce pass.
Right there he gets him. And then he regains the ball and he got him again. The ball goes out of bounds. That's, as I mentioned, only the 6th team foul on Kansas State this half. And nearing the 1-minute mark of the first half.
See, right now, Iowa State has 4 people in the game that can shoot three-pointers. Thigpen, Bayless, Hoiberg, and Mikalik. Tough to defense.
Mikalik from the corner again. That one a little strong. You see the time remaining in the first half. A little double team on Ziegler. He breaks out of it. Backdoor cut for Jackson off the glass and good. Vincent Jackson with his first 2.
Nice patient move. A good backdoor cut by Jackson. High up off the glass.
Looks like Iowa State's going to go for the last shot of the first half. Shot clock is turned off.
And the crowd wants Dana Altman to stay in the coach's box. That's what they're up in arms about.
He's a little bit out onto the court. Swinging around for Bayless for 3. Rediger with a rebound. Not much time left. In fact, Jones doesn't get the shot off, and that'll do it. First half comes to a close. Johnny Orr hitches up the pants. He knows he's got some work to do. Iowa State, after trailing by 9, leads by 5 at the half. Big 8 Conference Basketball is brought to you by Busch Beer, by Ford Motor Company, by Counter Lock and Load Closed Handling System, by Norwegian Cruise Line, and by True Value Hardware. Welcome back to Hilton Coliseum. Right now, Iowa State leading Kansas State by 4 at the half, 38-34. With Dave Logan, I'm Dave Armstrong. Well, how did Iowa State do it? They were trailing by 9 at one point.
Well, they got back in it, I think, with a combination of a couple of things. Very good defense, and they hit 3 three-pointers. Skip McCoy, good rotation of the basketball. He's wide open, and Iowa State has shot the ball very well. But Kansas State, I think, should be very pleased at halftime because they've been able to stay in it. They stemmed the tide of that one surge the Cyclones had, and Dana Altman's trying to figure out what he can do in the second half to win his first Big 8 game.
One thing Kansas State has to do in that second half is hit more of those shots, and they'll try to do that. Jones kept him in with a couple of three-pointers, and right now Iowa State leads by 4 at the half. And now it's time for this week's Big 8 Conference Player of the Week. Brought to you by Phillips 66, makers of high-quality, super clean gasolines. This week's Phillips 66 Big 8 Conference Player of the Week is Missouri senior Anthony Peeler. Peeler poured in 64 points in the Tigers' first 2 league games. Peeler also set a school record by sinking 28 consecutive free throws. Congratulations to Missouri's Anthony Peeler, this week's Phillips 66 Big 8 Conference Player of the Week. This week's Phillips 66 Classroom Champion is Iowa State Reserve Basketball Center Greg Hester. Greg is a junior majoring in mechanical engineering. Hester from Davenport, Iowa, has been the recipient of the Athletic Council Academic Award the past 2 years. Phillips 66 proud to salute those athletes who excel in the classroom as well as athletics. Each week we honor a Women's Player of the Week from around the Big 8 Conference. This week it's Kansas State's Mary Jo Miller. Miller scored a career-high 35 in the Lady Cats' victory over Oklahoma. Miller's now played in over 100 games for K-State. Congratulations to Mary Jo Miller, this week's Big 8 Conference Women's Player of the Week. We'll be back after these words from our local stations. This is the Raycom Network. And now it's time for this week's Norwegian Cruise Line Big 8 Trivia Contest. Our question this week: name the former Oklahoma State All-American who was the MVP of the NCAA tournament in 1945 and 46. Write your answer, plus your name, address, and phone number, and then send it to this address. A winner will be drawn at random from all correct answers received by January 31st, and will be awarded an exciting cruise for two on Norwegian Cruise Line. Reminder, you must be 18 or older to be eligible to win the cruise. For those of you who entered last week, our question: this former Kansas State coach was the 58th National Collegiate Coach of the Year and is currently an assistant coach for the Chicago Bulls. Name him. Well, the answer, of course, Tex Winter. And our lucky winner this week, Bert Kretcher of Lake Quivira, Kansas, who's won a cruise for two on Norwegian Cruise Line. Welcome back to Iowa State. Right now, the Cyclones are leading Kansas State at the end of the first half. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. Kansas State led by 9 early with Askia Jones hitting from outside.
Well, they shot the ball well, 50% in the first half, and keep in mind, for the year, this team has shot 50% or better in only 3 games. Askia Jones sets his feet. He's an excellent three-point shooter. He leads the Big 8 Conference in that statistic.
Ski had 6 in the first half. These first half highlights brought to you by Counter Insecticide.
So Iowa State answered with their own three-point shooter, Skip McCoy, who had 3 threes in the first half.
Now let's take a look at today's Gillette right guard halftime statistics. As you see, Kansas State shooting very well from the field, but not getting as many shots as Iowa State.
And that's really not unusual, because Kansas State, again, in a half-court offense, they're going to be much more patient than Iowa State. 9 more opportunities, 19 rebounds for the Cyclones. They more than held their own on the boards.
Well, they certainly did, and that's something that most of Kansas State's opponents this year have not done. But all translates into a 4-point lead for Iowa State at the half. Raycom will be televising the Naismith Award ceremony this April over many of these stations. The award is given annually to the nation's top college basketball player. Here's a look at some of this year's candidates. And now a look at a previous Naismith Award.
Domino's Pizza presents Naismith Award winners. No college player came close to outgunning Pistol Pete Maravich. Playing for his dad's LSU Tigers, the Louisiana sharpshooter averaged 44.2 points a game, highest in NCAA history. But stats could never capture the wonder of Pistol Pete's moves, many of which had never been seen before. The late, great Pete Maravich, the 1970 Naismith Award winner.
Big 8 Conference Basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, makers of top quality, super clean gasolines, celebrating 75 years of pride. And in part by Busch Beer, by Buick, by Dr. Pepper, and by True Value Hardware. Welcome back to Hilton Coliseum in Ames. Right now, Iowa State leading by 4 at the half. Let's take a look at scores around the country on the Budweiser scoreboard. And on that Budweiser scoreboard, Old Dominion winner 80-72. We'll look at those scores in a little while. Right now, it's Marcus Ziegler for Kansas State to Wiley Howard. That's how things started for Kansas State, getting that good inside penetration. Mikalik on the move. No basket. Foul came on the floor. All right, let's check now those scores on that Budweiser scoreboard while we have a chance. As you see, it was Virginia Commonwealth over Southern Mississippi by 5. And Maryland coming around to beat Clemson at home, 84-71. Old Dominion, as I mentioned, a winner 80-72 over East Carolina. And in the Southwest Conference, SMU, a winner over Baylor.
Kansas State off the inbounds pass, back to the 2-3 zone.
Hoiberg trying to drive in. Pinned off. They swing it around to Thigpen. That's a 3 from Justice.
He's a guy you just can't leave, even in the 2-3 zone, but the penetration draws the defense inside, and then a nice job of kicking it back out. Good pass by Bayless.
Thigpen on the year, Dave, hitting 47% of his three-pointers.
Again, you see Kansas State working so hard to get it inside.
Bayless almost had the steal, and so did Thigpen. Jones just trying to get loose of the ball, finally gets it to Ziegler. It's almost like, oh, phew.
I tell you, when you shoot 44%, everything offensively is a struggle from time to time. Passing, shooting, ball handling.
Lacing your shoes.
It's just tough to do.
Yeah. Walked. And Ziegler walked with it.
See, you get in a hurry to penetrate. You want to get there so quickly that you just shuffle your feet.
Let me throw a couple of trends at you as David Altman shouts the instructions to his defense. Iowa State 11-0 with a halftime lead. Kansas State 0-5 without a halftime lead this year. Let's see if those trends continue. Certainly if you're a Wildcat fan, you hope not.
I bet neither coach reminded his team of that particular stat.
Hoiberg got free. Must have been a pick inside, and Hoiberg has the easy layup. And a 7-point lead for Iowa State. That's their biggest of the game.
And the problem for Kansas State, if they fall too far behind, they just don't have enough firepower to catch up. This team needs to stay in low-scoring games, defensive games.
Jones had that one partially blocked by Bayless. And Howard tried to save it. Bayless came streaking across and partially blocked the shot. Howard couldn't save the rebound.
Happen here with the offense. It's a pretty good offensive team. They've got a lot of people who can hurt you.
Like that guy, Mikalik. Looks like Nickerson got banged up a little bit, and they're going to take an official's timeout here to check him out. Nickerson hobbling around. They're going to have to replace him. And streaking off the bench for Kansas State is Vincent Jackson.
Galen Nickerson, you see him sit down, the JUCO Player of the Year last year. Been an explosive player for Kansas State. Streak player. Hot and cold, but they need him back in the game.
He's capable of scoring. Had over 25 in a couple of games for Wichita State. So far has not exploded for Kansas State. Roan gets it in the corner for Ziegler for 3. Boy, that's a big one for Kansas State.
And a good job by Roan in midair. He realizes the double team is on him, gives it up to a wide open Ziegler.
Ziegler doesn't shoot it much, but when he does, he usually makes it, especially from three-point range. Mikalik will try a 3, and he's got it. Oh, wow.
Wally Howard backs off because Mikalik's an excellent passer. You can't do that. You've got to go up and get him even when he's 18, 19 feet from the bucket.
9-point lead for Iowa State. Kansas State, once upon a time, had a 9-point lead on the Cyclone.
And Johnny Orr told his team at halftime, let's go out and get with it defensively. They are much more active in the second half.
Jackson in and out, no good. And I think what's really frustrating for Kansas State, how many shots have we seen that have gone in and out, in and out? I mean, that's got to be really tough on a coach.
Yeah, it's frustrating for the coach and the players. Roan with the push inside.
His first. And Rediger comes off the bench for K-State, and Howard will sit down.
I'll tell you, it's the one statistic that you just can't overcome. If you can't shoot the ball, even if you up the tempo and you try to get easy buckets and you play good defense and you rebound like crazy, it's tough to beat.
Backdoor to Thigpen. He is fouled, so Thigpen will go to the line. Roan picks up his second.
Thigpen on a nice backdoor cut goes up strong with the left hand. You see the good the ball, even if you up the tempo and you try to get easy buckets and you play good defense and you rebound like crazy, it's tough to beat.
Backdoor to Thigpen. He is fouled, so Thigpen will go to the line. Roan picks up his second.
Thigpen on a nice backdoor cut goes up strong with the left hand. You see the good pass again, and Thigpen strong. That's a good call. Roan late getting there, and the contact forces Thigpen to be a little bit short with the basketball.
Thigpen, who's got 13, will go to the line for the first time today.
Here's a guy I think next year has a chance to play in the NBA somewhere. I think he has a chance to make the roster.
Well, if he does
Thigpen.
next year, Johnny Orr's going to miss him.
He's a junior this year.
Junior, so. But Thigpen, an outstanding player.
Yep.
He's really elevated his game since coming here a couple of years ago from Flint, Michigan.
He's an excellent player. Has all the skills you need to be an NBA player.
Rediger thought that one was for him and was sure glad to see Roan behind him. Roan for three. That one's short. Gets his own rebound, though. That's a tough shot.
Ooh.
What a skying rebound for Jackson. Oh, they've got some athletes on this Kansas State team.
That's what you call going up, snatching it, and coming down with it. Jackson from across the key.
Howard Eaton. Eaton, who had 8 in that first half, now in double figures.
See, Iowa State with pressure here in the second half. That's designed to up the tempo to force Kansas State to shoot the ball a little quicker than they want to. And it's worked.
Jackson again. This time it won't go. Knocked out of bounds off Rediger, and it'll go to Iowa State. 15:07 to go. Iowa State has outscored their opponents in the second half by almost 20 per half. And they're exploding on the Wildcats right now, leading by 11. With Dave Logan, I'm Dave Armstrong in Ames, Iowa. The Cyclones have expanded a 4-point halftime lead into 11, 52-41. How have they done it?
Well, with defense, I think the pressure defense, the full court pressure, even though they don't try to trap the ball, they wait until it crosses midcourt, but they force Kansas State into some shots that they just can't make, and also Iowa State offensively much more aggressive, too.
How does Kansas State try to stem the tide here and get back in it?
Not like that. I was going to say they have to do it with defense, but good pick that time, the high pick by Mikulek, and Bayless just rubs his man off.
Good timing on the question.
Yeah, very good.
Bayless, that's his first 2 of the game.
Boy, he's been instrumental in this game, though. Not scoring, but an excellent job passing the basketball and very good defense, too. He's on Askia Jones now.
Ziegler getting a little bit more violent in his instructions to his teammates. You can see the frustration on the faces of Kansas State. What a shot, though, by Jones.
Bayless right in his face. It doesn't take Ski Jones a long time to catch the ball and let it go. He's got a very quick release.
Can Kansas State stay in a zone very long, Dave, with Iowa State leading by this many?
I think it depends on how Iowa State shoots the basketball. They've got, again, 4 people in the game now that can hurt you from the outside. Everybody except Howard Eaton.
Eaton tried to get the ball from Hoiberg, but it was knocked out by Ski Jones. And it'll stay with Iowa State with 21 on the shot clock. Out to Hoiberg. He bursts in, is fouled, and almost had the basket. Rediger picks up his second.
See, Rediger has to know that Hoiberg is a guy that once he puts him in the court, he's coming to the hole. If Rediger holds his position there and plants his feet, he's got a chance to pick up the charge. Hoiberg, baseline drive. Now, Rediger will come from the right side of your screen. Stop right there and just stay down. And let Hoiberg, who did a good job jumping inside, he might have avoided the charge anyway, but once Rediger gets in the air, that's going to be a foul on him.
Well, if you're Johnny Orr, you got to be thrilled. You got a guy like Hoiberg, a freshman, and Mikulek, a freshman, 2 guys that don't play like freshmen.
And Lauren Meyer, another freshman on the bench who doesn't get a lot of playing time. Johnny Orr and Iowa State, they're going to be terrific in the next couple of years.
Makes him young again at 64, doesn't it? Jones, good hustle to get his own rebound. All the way across to Rediger, who's wide open. That shot short, though. Bayless, he's fouled. He'll go to the line. Ziegler picks up his first. See the look on their face for Kansas State right now. That's the look of a team that's 0-2 in the conference.
It's a look of frustration. You just can't overcome offensive deficiencies. You see Ziegler with the reach in there. Iowa State getting up and down the court a little bit quicker than Kansas State.
The 5th team foul on Kansas State this half. Iowa State yet to foul this half.
And Darryl Cunningham into the Kansas State lineup.
Darryl Cunningham will check in along with Galen Nickerson, who went out. Obviously, he's okay. Bayless will shoot free throws, an excellent free throw shooter. He hit 24 in a row at one stretch this year for Iowa State. And then hit the skids. Missed 5 in a row. How do you do that? How do you hit 24 straight and then miss 5
Lose
in a
that
row?
little bit of confidence you have. Bayless led the country, the junior college country, in free throw shooting his freshman year, hit 92%.
Wow.
Kilgore, JC, and Texas. See how active Iowa State is defensively. There you go. But they're after every pass.
And a foul. That one's going on Hoiberg. And Hoiberg's the one grimacing. Not from the call, but from some kind of pain. Fred picks up his second.
We'll call it abdominal pain.
Okay.
I'm not sure how else to put it.
That's good enough. We're here in the afternoon. 13-11. Bayless all over Jones.
Tough shot.
And he is fouled. Bayless will pick up his first. Now, the Big 8 would like to congratulate the men's cross-country team at Iowa State with the help of league and NCAA titleist Jonah Koetsch. The Cyclones won the league and finished second in the national meet.
Tom Bayless said, I didn't foul him. Skia Jones with a broken ankle. Trying to come off of that from last year. 1990 U.S. Olympic Festival, that's where he broke his ankle. And actually had 2 surgeries. 3 pins inserted in the first surgery, came back, re-injured it. Another operation, 3 more screws.
Do you think he's at 100% yet?
It's tough to say. I think sometimes it takes you a year and a half mentally to overcome. You just have to forget. The mind is a wonderful mechanism. It allows you to forget some of your injuries, but it takes a while. Walked.
Mikulek. That shot a little bit long, and Wiley Howard had it go off his hand and out of bounds. One of the loose balls, and seems like everything is going Iowa State's way right now, leading by 13.
Mikulek came off the pick, was wide open. Bayless didn't see it.
Nice rebound by Nickerson. And you can see the talent there for Kansas State. They've got some athletes like this guy, Cunningham.
They're going to count the bucket, I think. Cunningham with the charge.
It does count. And the foul on Cunningham, his first.
That's the kind of basket we've been talking about all afternoon that Dana Altman wants to see, the transition bucket. Good rebound, force the pace, and then get a good athlete taken from the wing, the basketball to the hole.
.20 remaining. Thigpen checks up.
Oh.
That's tough.
See him bounce back. He separates himself from the defender with that little step back. It's almost like Larry Bird does. Catches it and steps away from the defender and gets the jump shot.
It's almost like a fadeaway, but really not.
That's right. He doesn't fade in the air, but he takes the step away from the defender with his left foot, and that enables him to separate and get that shot off.
So he'll go in on a guy and then...
Nice little step. Very, very tough to defend.
Got to have really long arms. Real long.
Yeah, like Gumby, maybe.
Jones might have pushed off. Shot clock is at 25. Nickerson banks it home. Nickerson only with 4 today. Kansas State trying to hang in there, still trailing by 11.
Got to call that shot.
Yeah, don't game a horse.
Yeah, I don't think Nickerson wanted to bank that one in.
Picked off by Cunningham, and he's fouled by Thigpen and picks up his first and the 4th team foul on Iowa State. And And we've got a timeout with 11:16 to go. Iowa State leading by 11. And we're coming back to Hilton Coliseum in a moment after this message from Phillips 66, the Performance Company. Let's talk, Dave, about that move you're talking about with Justice Thigpen.
Yeah, Thigpen, number 24, will catch the pass from Eaton. Now watch after he catches it. Watch his left leg as he steps back before he goes up for the jump shot. You take a look. See him step back with the left foot. This separates him from any defensive problem. Nickerson way off, and Justice Thigpen with the bucket.
Steve Jones gets it to Nickerson. He's sealed off by Eaton.
And again, the defense really has picked it up a notch.
Skip McCoy is checked back in for Iowa State. You see the percentages. Boy, look at the second half for Iowa State. Man, they've really turned it on. Under 11 minutes to go. Shot clock is at 10. Ziegler for a three. That's well short. Tipped around. Howard's got it. And a fresh shot clock for Kansas State. Nickerson pulled up, and good defense by Hoiberg. Ziegler for a three. It goes out of bounds off of Cunningham, and Iowa State will have it. But good play by Kansas State. They had several cracks at the basket.
Well, they're making Iowa State work on defense. But again, when you've got a wide open shot like that, you have to stick it in the hole when you're playing on the road and you're 11 down. McCoy and Hoiberg key in this series against this defense.
McCoy, that's a two. His foot was on the line, but McCoy remains red hot.
And an excellent pass again by Mikuli. You throw it in, you collapse on a guy 6'11" in the paint, he kicks it right back out for a wide open jump shot.
And a foul on McCoy. That's his second. That'll be the fourth team foul on Iowa State.
Skip McCoy has been one of the keys offensively for Iowa State, but they've done it in the second half with good defense. That's not the foul. That is the foul. As Skip McCoy knocks the ball up in the air and then goes over the top of Ziegler trying to deflect it.
McCoy with 11 points off that bench for Johnny Orr. And he is 4 of 4 from the field, including 3 of 3 from three-point land. And Henson, the freshman, checks back in. And he and Ziegler playing together now. Altman's still looking for that combination, isn't it?
Looking for somebody to stick it in the hole. Good hands.
Stolen away by Hoiberg.
Back to him. Oh, nice.
Hoiberg, and he's fouled. Wow!
Oh, nice. Freddie Hoiberg gets away with the walk here. But what a great job of 2-on-1 fast break basketball. Give it to Bayless. Now give it back to him. 1, 2, 3, and up. Give him the extra step. There's a great pass by Bayless. 1, 2, 3, and the dunk.
One extra step, but the crowd here didn't mind. Kansas State did. Hoiberg will go to the line.
Just the best group of athletes that Johnny Orr's had in many years. He said yesterday that he really likes not only the way this team plays, but the overall athletic ability. They can press you and they can run up and down the court.
Defensively, it's a much better team than last year's Iowa State club.
Yeah, you can do that.
Phillips, 66 stations. Iowa State leading by 14 here in Ames with 7 minutes and some change to go in the ball game.
Kansas State trying to come out defensively now, pick up the pace, the pressure of the game.
Kansas State getting out of that zone they've been playing much of the game. Shot clock is down to 10. Eaton pulls in.
McCoy, the littlest guy on the floor, comes down with it. And a fresh 45. That's a
A real heartbreaker for Kansas State. Bayless is fouled by Ziegler, and Ron Bayless will go back to the line. Ron Bayless, who has taken over the point guard duties from Justice Thigpen, allowing Thigpen to go to his more comfortable number 2 guard position. Bayless has started all 17 for Johnny Orr.
And I think with his emergence this year, it makes Iowa State and their backcourt one of the best in the conference.
That's saying a lot.
Very good offensively. Thigpen can hurt you in a lot of ways, and this guy runs the court and the team with great
mugs that you can purchase at your participating Phillips 66 dealer. When you buy one of these beautiful mugs, you get a coupon for a free 2-liter bottle of Dr. Pepper on your next 8-gallon purchase or fill up at Phillips 66. I've got one for every team.
As do I.
They're nice. Bayless with the strip away.
Smart move. He realizes he's 1-on-2. He brings it back out. Now they'll run some time off the clock.
An 18-point lead. They want to use that clock. Hoiberg left-handed. Bayless on the follow. And McCoy. Iowa State still,
if not the best conference overall, is certainly one of the top 2.
Problem in the Big 8 is you beat each other up so much. There's so many good teams. What a move by Hoiberg.
But great athletic ability and also body control as he takes it baseline.
McCoy. And now they'll slow it up, trying to eat some more clock. 21-point lead for Iowa State. Meekly. It's blocked. Howard will pick up the foul. Meekly, despite that injury on his forehead, not gun-shy about taking it to the hole.
Well, he lulls you to sleep. He's got 3-point range ability. Takes it in. Howard gets all basketball up top, but also catches Meekly across the left forearm, and he'll have a couple of free throws.
Iowa State with already 4 players in double figures. Oh, 5, excuse me. Skip McCoy's got 11.
Shoots that thing nice and easy. Got a good release of the basketball. Asked him how his eye was doing today. He said, fine. Didn't seem overly concerned about it.
He hasn't been overly concerned about a lot since coming to this country. They say he's made the adjustment. I don't want to find the handle. And a foul. That one's going on Askia Jones. Kansas State's over the big limit, the limit of 10, which means that Mikalik will go to the line shooting 2.
It's rare to find a guy, again, at 6'11", that can handle the basketball like Julius Mikalik. We talked about Krasmir Ćosić back in the early 70s.
Krasmir Ćosić.
Yugoslavia.
Who did he play for?
Played for BYU. I played against him over there in a Big 8 All-Star team in Yugoslavia. And you talk about a national hero.
Really?
Yes. Mikalik.
Mikalik pulls up.
Is that soft?
That is soft.
Oh.
McCoy trying a quick step. Henson held on, and McCoy will go to the line.
Two guys that are very quick. McCoy will try to go baseline. Watch Henson cut him off. That's a good move there. But then McCoy able to slide back inside, avoid the head-on contact. And Henson tries to grab him almost with that right shoulder.
Mikalik will come out. Lauren Meyer comes in. They love him in aim. Mikalik perhaps done for the day with 15 points. Hamilton Strickland, a seldom used freshman, has come off the bench for Kansas State. For McCoy, that's the first thing he's missed today. 77-51. Henson almost lost it out of bounds.
Gotta hurry.
They don't have much time to get it across. Meyer strips it away. McCoy. Man. Hoiberg. Hoiberg! Hoiberg! Timeout, Kansas State. With Dave Logan, I'm Dave Armstrong, and watch the freshman Fred Hoiberg.
Well, he knocked the ball away, then went and got it. Henson chases, and Hoiberg says, you'll see enough of me in the next 3 years. We'll both be here. This one I'm taking by myself, and Iowa State with a 30-point advantage.
That's unbelievable. 30-point lead for Iowa State. Kansas State, remember, trailed by just 4 at the half. In fact, the Wildcats led by 9 in this game. What a turnaround.
Iowa State went on a 19-4 run in a 7-minute period in the first half, and that was about it. You see the Cyclones and the Wildcats shooting percentage here in the second half. It's been all Iowa State.
Man, 78 for Iowa State, 24 for Kansas State. Brian Pearson is checked in for the Cyclones. Henson gets loose for a 3. Jackson on the follow. It's up and good. Brad Pippett. As Johnny Orr has gone to his bench, that's Donnell Bivens. Pippett on the push on Henson. Johnny Orr has cleared his bench here with a 30-point lead. Now it's down to 28 now. Orr just wants to get this one over with right now. Under 2 minutes to go. Dana Altman probably wants to get it over with too.
Coaches go through stretches like this. I know it's not easy in Manhattan, but Dana Altman's a good coach.
Yeah, he
is. It's going to take some time. He's got to find somebody offensively to step up and get the job done.
Unbelievably, he's already feeling pressure in Manhattan.
Well,
it's too early for that.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to give him time. And a year and a few games is certainly not enough time.
With his own player. Well, there's one of those big jams by Meyer. About a minute and a half to go. Next up for Kansas State, they will play at home against Missouri, Kansas City, and then at home a week from today against Colorado. Fresh shot clock. Henson for 3. And for Henson, his first points of the game. Sean Jackson down low. Bivens, he tried to jam it home. It was partially blocked by Strickland. Jackson tried to jam that one home, but was stuffed by Jackson. Obviously, they're not related.
At least not on this play. Jackson baseline. He's going to throw this one down, I think, with the right hand, and you can see the block and the foul.
Mike Bergman, a former Mr. Basketball in the state of Iowa, checks in for ISU, and Pippett will get a rest. Just think, Johnny Orr's got Pippett and Pearson, his only seniors. Other than that, man, everybody's back.
And he brings both off the bench.
Isn't that something? Jackson hits them both. He's now got 8. 47 to go. On the weave, Bergman.
What a play.
Nice little pass.
Yeah.
Backdoor cut right on the money.
85-58.
Nice pass. Henson to Strickland, and he's fouled by Bergman.
Boy, did that look like his older brother.
Yeah, it did.
Brian Henson on the penetration. The pass, didn't catch it, just took it right off the dribble with the right hand. Nice pass inside. Strickland goes up strong.
They expect big things out of Hamilton Strickland as well. Just 11 seconds to go. Many of you will be seeing the Nebraska-Kansas game coming up next on most of these Raycom stations. And somebody was in the lane a little bit early. I think that was Roan. So if Kansas State will let them, and I think they might, Iowa State will have a chance just to run out the clock. Well, they didn't let him. Ziegler with a steal. Roan, he wanted to jam that one down. And Bivens said,
Yeah, Roan was going to throw this one down big with the right hand. Bivens in the air, too. And Roan's fortunate that he didn't get hurt here because he landed on that left arm. But he's up and apparently okay. You don't want to get somebody hurt in the last 4 seconds of this thing.
A little frustration, perhaps, when he took off there. He wanted to take out some frustration on that basket. And Roan, who had double figures, as Dave's mentioned, in his last 3 games, will not have double figures today. That'll do it. Well, Iowa State led by 4 at the half, and Johnny Orr and the Cyclones exploded in the second half. Iowa State winning at home for the 10th time this year, 85-59 over Kansas State. Over Kansas State, 85-59. With Dave Logan, I'm Dave Armstrong. Impressive, I guess, is the word, especially in that second half.
I think that will do. Iowa State defensively came out and really upped the pressure on Kansas State. You can see right from the outset of the second half that they wanted to force Kansas State into the up-tempo and make it hard for them to get good looks at the basket. They were able to do that. They were able, because of that, to generate some easy baskets for themselves. And Iowa State, really a pretty good basketball team that played very well in the second half.
Well, Kansas State, it looks like a long road for them. Can they get it back together by the end of this season?
Well, I like Dana Altman. I like the job that he's done. And they're struggling right now. There's no other way to put it. They're looking for a couple of guys to step up big offensively, somebody to take the pressure off. If they could find that guy or those guys, it would really help this club immensely. But I think it's going to be a team that will be up and down. They'll have to win some games with their defense, with their trapping game, and some easy buckets, because they don't appear to have somebody that's going to set the world on fire offensively.
Now, Kansas State feels like last year they had shooting problems, but they didn't have good athletes. They feel like they have good athletes this year. They just can't shoot it.
Well, I think they're plenty athletic enough. The problem is, again, just finding somebody to step up at crunch time, a go-to guy, if you will, that Kansas State can rely on when things get tough. This team is very athletic. They rebound well. They're quick. They play good defense. They just look for that one special guy.
All right, we'll be back to talk about Iowa State in just a moment. The Cyclones very impressive here today at Hilton Coliseum, winning big over the Wildcats of Kansas State. Welcome back to Ames, Iowa. The Cyclones pouring it on in the second half, beating Kansas State by a bundle. Boy, Iowa State, an impressive team. We saw them a week ago against Oklahoma State. They get on to Stillwater. I don't think too many teams are going to win in Stillwater this year, and they were sort of manhandled by the Cowboys, but today a different story.
Well, I don't think too many teams are going to win on the road, period, in this conference. I don't think any club's going to come in here, or at least not many, and win in Ames. You won't win many times in Stillwater. You won't win many times, if at all, in Lawrence, and it goes on and on. This conference conference is as strong as it's ever been, as balanced as it's ever been. Really, from top to bottom, good players and good teams all the way.
Well, that was emphasized by Colorado's game with Kansas, where Colorado almost won at home. Let's look at some stats from the ball game today. And as you see, Kansas State just having a terrible time shooting the basketball. 36% from the field.
Well, Iowa State shot 57%. Neither team particularly shooting well from the free throw line, but rebounds, I think one of the keys for Iowa State, they were able to stay in the basketball game and stay in the rebounding game. That's where Kansas